What's up, everybody? My name is Jeremy Jones and I'm back with another video. Today I'm talking my weekly sneaker rotation, so stay tuned.
Got a lot of things changing in my life. Hoping one day I'ma get it all right. Brother is engaged, about to start a new life. Yeah, I haven't had a chill day. Really wanna vibe, appreciate the moments. I've been creating, not scrolling. Mom and dad still support.
Alright, man, I'm back with another video. Now, before I get too deep into this video, y'all already know what to do. Go and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you're new, consider subscribing. I make content about sneakers. Alright, so let's dive into today's video. Just like I said in the intro, man, I am back with another weekly sneaker rotation. Now, before I get too deep into this video, like I just said, man, this is something that I have been doing at the beginning of the year of 2023, a weekly sneaker rotation. And here we are. This is pretty much week 149. Now, if you want to get a sneak peek of what I'm wearing throughout the week, sign up for that sold out Discord. The link is pinned at the top of the comment section, and it is free to sign up. Well, of course, not only do we continue the sneaker talk, but we got a food section, a sports section, you name it. If I don't get the content out in time, most likely we're already talking about it in the Discord. And if I didn't say it in the beginning, definitely smash the like button and sub up, right? Okay, now enough rambling. Let's just get into this weekly sneaker rotation. Now, I end things off on a Friday, then pick right back up on Saturday. So pretty much this one's gonna hit Saturday and Sunday, right? Okay, pretty much mean the crib, the kid was in the crib pretty much all weekend, right? Okay, when I tell you I try to do the bare bone minimum, I just really wanted to catch up on some rest, if that's even possible, right? Okay, I mean, to be honest, I just been going, man. So much been going on this year. The kid always has something to do. So pretty much at best, I was in my beaters, right? Okay, I've seen people in the comment section is like, hey, it's time to retire these. Maybe so, but they're still super duper comfortable, man. Yes, my toe drag on this joint is crazy, but I will say they're well broken in, and the camera's not gonna do this any justice, but right up in this toe box, man, these things are molded to my toes, man. So I mean, like, these are super duper comfortable. And like I said, I don't even really technically wear them in the house. It's more so when I just gotta walk around the house and or go to the mailbox and or take the trash out and or just go down the street real quick. I mean, if you see me in these, just know I don't plan on being nowhere long, right? Okay, and I'll just leave it right there. It made me think of a Future lyric, but I'm gonna just leave it right there because it's probably will be just talking too much. But anyway, man, this was my Saturday and Sunday shoe. Was a Yeezy Slide Pure, and I haven't picked up any of the new Adidas or the new slides that Yeezy's put out, which is not by Adidas, but I'm hearing the quality control issues is way different compared to what we have with the Adidas version, right? Okay, so this is my Saturday and Sunday shoe. Was a Yeezy Slide Pure. Cool. Let's move right along to Monday, man. The kid right back at work. I work a full-time job now. Ironically, man, it was raining, but technically, by the time I got out the house, the rain, it seemed like it came and gone. So technically, I could have did what theme I wanted to do, but I decided to push it off to probably next week. But anyway, with all that being said, the kid stepped in none other than Monday on the Air Jordan 11, and these are the Space Jams, right? Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the ones that dropped back in 2016 because we got that 45 on the back. And my pair, yeah, camera's not probably gonna do this much justice because they look perfectly fine, but to be honest, these joints of age, you can tell, like, yeah, I have worn these things, probably it is what it is, and my 2009 pair are no better, right? Okay, again, not one of those where to the average person, we're like, oh, these are still wearable and they're still good, but I wouldn't mind having a fresh pair if I'm gonna keep it 100, right? Okay, but overall, yeah, this was my Monday shoe. Was an Air Jordan 11 Space Jam, timeless classic sneaker, and obviously, man, if you know the history behind these, you just know, man, arguably one of my favorites in my collection, especially if you're into 11s, right? Okay, so this was my Monday shoe. Was an Air Jordan 11 Space Jam. Cool. Now we're gonna move right on to Tuesday. Right back to work. Y'all know I work a full-time job. I think I decided to wear this shoe mainly because we do have an updated version coming out, and I'm probably gonna lean towards a copping those and selling these, but I feel like I wanted to get one more wear out of these, and that's just your hint right there. And I stepped in none other than the Air Jordan 12 Taxis, right? Okay. Now this is a pair that I believe dropped back in 2013. Y'all know I did pick these up like roughly about 2 or 3 years ago on the resale market, but you know what? I think once I get the new pair, and I'm gonna speak it to an existence, if I can get the new pair, right? Okay, I'm probably gonna sell these probably on my eBay page and let them go for a little bit of nothing. But this was my Tuesday shoe, was the Air Jordan 12 Taxis. Obviously a classic timeless shoe. You know why we call them the Taxis, because of that on the bottom right there with the yellow. But y'all know me, also I'm a major sucker for this gold hit eyelets on the shoestring laces, so definitely want to do a fresh pair, just like whenever they did the Bread 12s, right? Or my bad, the Flu Game 12s, which I don't know, you know, I know why we call them the Flu Games, but I feel like low key, if he didn't have the flu or get food poisoning, as we know now, we probably wouldn't be calling them that. We probably would be calling them the Breads. But fast forward, we're here, and yeah, this was my Tuesday shoe, was the Air Jordan 12 Taxi. Cool, now let's move right along to Wednesday. Want to bring back another, like, I guess you could say oldie but goodie, but at the same time, if you know, you know. Don't have too many of these in my collection, but I will say this silhouette is arguably super duper comfortable. And I'm talking none other than the Air Jordan 7, and these are the Bordeaux, right? Okay, definitely a classic timeless shoe right here, man. Is a shoe that I arguably don't wear enough, but I wouldn't mind having a fresh pair. But I feel like 7s don't really move like that too. So I mean, are we really gonna stress if we don't see another pair of these come anytime soon? But at the same time, another one of those if you know type of shoes. And I will say this, I think it's super duper comfortable. In fact, I've seen some sneakerheads just saying this is their favorite silhouette. Not necessarily the colorway, but it's the silhouette in general. So I mean, to be honest, these are easy put on and they are comfortable. And yeah, I just feel like it has to really get up there for me to really want a 7 though. So pretty much this was my Wednesday shoe. Want to make sure I'm wearing my entire collection as much as possible within reason. So this was my Wednesday shoe, was the Air Jordan 7 Bordeaux. Cool, now we're gonna move right on to Thursday. Bring back a shoe that I got just a few years ago and I definitely need to wear more of. Don't have too many of this silhouette as well, but I figured like, why not, right? Okay, since I've already kind of just mixed it up this whole week, pretty much on Thursday, we're back at work and I stepped in none other than the Air Jordan 8, and these are the Playoffs, right? Okay, another timeless classic sneaker in my opinion, and arguably one of my favorites in my collection, mainly because it's black and red, but it also has a hint of white right there. I know a lot of people didn't really buy these joints when they first came out, and to be honest, I will say next to like 7s, I would say 8s is also arguably not one of the most, I guess you can say, quote unquote, overall top favorites by majority of the sneaker community, but they still get love in my opinion, but probably not on the level of a love like maybe like an Air Jordan 1, right? Or like an Air Jordan 11, which that's kind of like hit or miss, or even an Air Jordan 4. It's funny because people say they're tired of seeing all the 4s, we're tired of seeing all the 1s, and maybe even say we're tired of seeing the 12s, right? Okay, but then Jordan Brand hit us with another silhouette, and then we're looking like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? So we're probably a tough crowd is what I'm trying to get at, right? Okay, so pretty much this was my Thursday shoe, was the Air Jordan 8 Playoffs. Cool, now we're gonna move right on to Friday. I wanted to completely just switch it up from Jordans, but I didn't take it all the way from not including some Nike here. Some shoes that I would say that arguably is my favorite silhouette. Not this particular shoe that I'm showing up as my favorite, but the silhouette in general is probably arguably my favorite like silhouette of all time by Nike. And I'm talking none other than the Air Force One, right? Okay, now these are the My Year versions we did like a couple years ago. Probably the only My Year Air Force Ones that I'm probably gonna buy unless they do something super spectacular, right? Okay, but I feel like why not? Fridays usually, knock on wood, is usually a chill day. So I feel like, hey man, I just feel on put some Forces on and just kind of closing out the week, kind of on some chill vibes, something very simple. I feel like Forces don't get enough love like they did back in the day, right? Okay, if you know, you know. I mean, when Nelly dropped that song Air Force Ones, they took off like a rocket in my opinion, right? Okay. But even before then, we were still rocking them. It just wasn't nowhere near. I think that song put it over the top. You know what I'm saying? And I'll just put it like there, specifically them all white joints in my opinion, right? But yeah, pretty much this was my Friday shoe, was the Nike Air Force One. My Year. Cool, man. So pretty much that completes my weekly sneaker rotation for this week. Y'all sign up in the comment section and let me know what you wore throughout the week as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of this thing and stop rambling, man. Y'all be sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you know, consider subscribing. I made content about sneakers. Again, my name is Jeremy Jones, and thank you for watching, and I'm out.
I figure out we go, you figure out we